Hello again, and welcome back to another video. This is Hiroshima Station, and today I'm going on a journey to see a milk carton. Yes, you heard me right, a milk carton. So, please come along with me. First of all, I need to get on the Geibi line, and this is my train. Leaving Hiroshima Station on the Geibi line, you're actually in Hiroshima City for another 13 stations until Ibaraichi. That, by local train, is a journey of an hour and a quarter, give or take a couple of minutes. However, it's not really that long at all before the scenery from the train stops feeling like a big city and starts to feel much more rural, like this. The train I'm on today to Miyoshi is a rapid service, which means that it only takes 1 hour and 25 minutes as opposed to nearly 2 hours by the local train, the train that stops at every single station. Still, rapid service or not, I always enjoy the scenery on the Geibi line. Okay, so this is us just leaving Shiwaguchi Station. The rapid service doesn't actually stop at Ibaraichi, so this is the last station in Hiroshima City where the train stops. At this time of year, the rice planting has either just taken place or it's just taking place. This means that the rice fields are all just like mirrors, really. It's a great view from the train. It's a wonderful day for a journey too. As you can see, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's actually quite warm as well. I think this is probably the warmest it's been this year. This is Mukaihara Station, another place where services can pass each other. This station is in Akitakata City, which is a fairly small rural city. To me, it always feels much more like a town than a city. And I mean no disrespect whatsoever to Akitakata City in saying this. I actually much prefer small rural cities like this, like Etajima, where I used to live, than huge metropolises. I mean, what's not to love about scenery like this? I always enjoy seeing the old thatched house by the line just after Mukaihara too. It's only just over 20 minutes to Miyoshi now. And here we are at Miyoshi. From here you can catch a train further along the Geibi line to Bingo-Ochiai, or a train on the Fukuen line to Fuchu. I'm heading towards Fuchu today, and this is my train. There's only about 10 minutes before the train leaves, so let's get on. Alright, this is Shiomachi Station. It's where the Fukuen line branches off from the Geibi line. Even though it's a junction station though, it's a very basic, simple, rural station. And there's nothing really wrong with that. I once had to wait here 3 hours for a train though. That's not something I'd want to repeat. This is the actual junction between the Geibi and Fukuen lines. The Geibi line is heading off to the right of the picture. I need to get off at the next station, Mirasaka Station. By the way, it's about 5 to 3 in the afternoon now. My train will arrive at Mirasaka in 5 minutes at 3 o'clock exactly. From Saijo, where I live, to Mirasaka is about just over 50 kilometers as the crow flies, or about 110 kilometers if you go by train, basically because you have to go through Hiroshima. So, not really a massively long journey, but even so, the earliest you can get to Mirasaka from Saijo is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Coming from Miyoshi to Mirasaka, there are only 6 trains a day. There's one at 5:20 in the morning, one at 6:20 and one at 7:59, and then the next train is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this train. I suppose there just aren't the passengers to justify any better service. Anyway, this is Mirasaka Station, and that, obviously enough, is the train just leaving. The next train to Fuchu, which is the train I'll need to catch in order to get back home, is at 5:12 this afternoon. So I have just over 2 hours here in Mirasaka. First of all, let's take a look around the station. In a way, it's almost like an afterthought built onto the back of another building. It should really go without saying that there's only one track and one platform. It does look like there used to be a second platform at one point, though. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a railway waiting room with straw mats, tatami mats, in the waiting area like this. I would hazard a guess that at one point this wasn't actually the waiting room, it was some other sort of room. This is the entrance to the platform and the old ticket window. And this is the milk carton that I came all this way to see. Did you notice it in the distance just as the train was leaving the station? Obviously, it's not a real milk carton. It's actually the distribution centre, shall we say, for a milk sales company. But I think it's a really cool, quirky building. I'm glad I came to see it, actually. And my timing is just perfect to see the Fukuen Line train back towards Miyoshi pass. Alright, this is my train to Fuchu, just arriving. I have to say, I really enjoyed my 2 hours in Mirasaka. It's a very rural, quite sleepy sort of town, but at the same time it seems a very friendly town. I'd like to visit again, actually. In a way, my main purpose today was to take a journey on the Geibi line and the Fukuen line. Coming to see the milk carton has been really the icing on the cake. It's been a really nice, relaxing journey. I could have driven in maybe 1 hour each way, but that's not the point. The only way that lines like the Fukuen line, and to a large extent the Geibi line, can have any sort of future is if they cater to people like me who are willing to use the trains for leisure. Realistically, there aren't enough people to use them for commuting to work or school, and they're not convenient enough because there aren't enough people to use them for going shopping or whatever. Leisure has to be the key, and then maybe if the number of people using the trains increases, then the services can be increased. You never know, it might work. I don't really know. I'm just happy to have been able to do my bit, maybe my very little bit, today to hopefully contribute to the line's survival. Anyway, the scenery on the Fukuen line is as beautiful as the Geibi line. It's similar, but in a way different. Much of the Geibi line is basically open farmland. And there are places on the Fukuen line where this is also the case, like here. But there are also spots on the Fukuen line where the valley becomes quite narrow and the train almost has to thread its way down through the valley, sharing space with the road and the river. I think overall I prefer the Geibi line, but I also really enjoy a trip on the Fukuen line too. It's a gorgeous evening this evening too. It's perfect really just for sitting and gazing out of the train window. What could be better? The whole scene really does just feel so rural and bucolic. It's beautiful. I'm sure that if JR were to run tourist trains on these lines, there would be plenty of passengers. I mean, seriously, who wouldn't enjoy a leisurely evening with scenery like this? But then again, what do I know? I don't run JR, more's the pity. Anyway, enough of spending JR's money. This is Bingo Mikawa Station. From here to Kawasa Station, the next station on the line towards Fuchu, the railway is in a really long tunnel. This tunnel was opened in 1989 when the whole line between Mikawa and Kawasa was diverted because of the building of a new dam in the area. And this is the tunnel in question. This is Hattabara Tunnel. At one point there were lasers installed in this tunnel to provide a laser show for passengers. And this is Kawasa Station that I was just talking about. We're not far at all from Fuchu now. And here we are at Fuchu. So, thank you very much for joining me on this journey today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing the milk carton. And I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. For now though, goodbye.